All right, today we're breaking down the mechanics of a really terrifying short story. It's a chilling tale about a birthday party, a haunted canal, and one very bad decision that spirals into absolute supernatural horror.
Right off the bat, the story hits us with a line that if you're a horror fan, you know exactly where this is going. It's a classic setup, isn't it? A clear, direct warning that our characters are, of course, about to completely ignore. This isn't just foreshadowing, it's basically a formal invitation to disaster. So, that brings us to Act 1, the fateful birthday. This is the setup, where a totally normal, everyday celebration is about to become the stage for something truly terrifying.
Okay, let's just talk about the plan here, because the recklessness is... wow. A group of friends, led by a guy named Raman, decides the best place to celebrate Pawan's birthday is at a canal that's literally known for people disappearing. Pawan is super nervous about it, but, peer pressure wins. They're just going to take a few pictures, have some cake. What could possibly go wrong?
And this is the exact moment the night completely falls apart. They're snapping photos, having a good time, and then suddenly the laughter just stops. Raman is frozen, staring at his phone in total horror. At the exact same time, Pawan starts to tremble, like uncontrollably. He doesn't know why, but his body does. The camera you see has captured something it was never meant to.
And just when you think it can't get any creepier, the horror gets a voice. Before they can even make sense of the photo, this disembodied crying sound just cuts through the night. It's a sound of pure sadness that gets louder and then just stops. It's such a smart move because it tells you the presence is no longer just an image on a phone. It's with them.
We cut to the next morning, and the price for ignoring that big flashing warning sign, well, it becomes brutally, devastatingly clear. The party is over. The real nightmare has just begun.
I mean, just look at this transformation. It's staggering. Pawan is found all alone, totally abandoned by his friends. He's gone from a talkative, excited birthday boy to a completely mute, unresponsive shell of himself. His body is ice cold, his back is somehow completely scraped up, and he's just trapped in this deep state of shock. He can't say a single word about what happened.
And just to add a layer of, human awfulness on top of the supernatural horror, his so-called friends, they don't even come back for him. They come back because one of them forgot their phone. And when they turn it on, we finally see it. The source of all that terror, a photo of a woman in a red wedding dress just sitting there in the back of their car.
Okay, so let's get into Act 2, which is basically the investigation phase. Modern medicine has no answers, so Pawan's family, totally desperate at this point, turns to a local pandit, a spiritual expert, hoping he can explain what's going on.
And the pandit's diagnosis is, honestly, it's way more terrifying than a simple haunting. He calls it psychic shock. He explains that a spirit didn't just scare Pawan, it went inside him. And its own traumatic memories were so powerful they just completely overloaded and shattered Pawan's mind, leaving him in this catatonic state.
So that becomes the central question, right? To have any hope of saving Pawan, they have to figure out how to bring peace to this spirit. But to do that, they need to know her story. Who is she? Who is this ghost bride, and what could she possibly want?
And it doesn't take long for the story to just come pouring out. With the spirit using Pawan as a mouthpiece, her history is revealed. Her name was Janvi. And as you can see, her story is absolutely tragic. It's a classic tale of forbidden love, a secret plan to elope, and a brutal ambush that ended with her being murdered before she could ever get married.
All right, that brings us to the big climax, Act 3. The only way to fix this is a dangerous ritual, and of course it has to be done at night at the very spot where Janvi's spirit is the most powerful.
So, Pawan, who's now basically a puppet for Janvi, gets completely obsessed with one single thing. He has to get her a wedding dress. He even demands his own mother's. The pundit tells the family to just go with it, explaining that Pawan will lead them to the exact spot where they need to perform the ritual that will save him.
So they're out in this creepy, desolate field, and for a second, it seems like the plan is actually working. The ghost of Janvi appears, but then she looks right at Pawan's parents and says this incredibly chilling and ambiguous line right before she attacks them and knocks them unconscious. The words sound like a promise, but the feeling is pure menace. And this is where all the pieces of the puzzle just click into place. Janvi, in that red dress, is gliding toward this lifeless, almost zombie-like Pawan. His parents are out cold. The pundit is just watching.
And you realize the real reason they're all here is about to be revealed.
Okay, get ready for this. We are now at the story's brilliant, absolutely shocking final twist. Everything you thought you knew about what was happening, yeah, it's about to be flipped completely upside down.
So the pundit, he completely ignores Pawan's unconscious parents lying on the ground. He just calmly walks right up to the ghost. And he doesn't start chanting or performing some ritual, he just speaks her name, Janvi. And not like a priest confronting a spirit, but like a man talking to someone he's missed for a very, very long time.
Because here's the truth. This was never about saving Pawan. The pundit, he was Janvi's lover from all those decades ago. He survived the attack that killed her and spent his entire life mastering dark arts for one single purpose, to find her again. Pawan was never the victim to be saved. He was just the vessel, the tool the pundit needed to make this reunion happen.
With one last incantation, the pundit does what he came here to do. He doesn't banish Janvi. He pulls her spirit right out of Pawanid's body and restores her to a physical form. But there's a price for this magic. The life force is transferred, and Pawan just drops, dead.
And the story ends on this image that is somehow both beautiful and absolutely horrifying. The pundit and a now human Janvi, their love story finally complete after decades apart, just turn and walk away, hand in hand, leaving Pawan's lifeless body and his devastated family behind in that dark field.
And that's what makes this story so genius, right? It takes a classic ghost story and twists it into this dark, tragic romance. But it leaves you with this really unsettling question. Was this whole thing an incredible testament to undying love, a reunion